Where do you need to be reminded of what God's done? My oldest son recently had a dental procedure, which was scary for him and for us as his parents. And right before the procedure, actually the night before and then right before he went back to the procedure, I reminded Pace that just like God carried Joseph through being sold in slavery and God carried Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego through the fiery furnace, God can carry you through this scary situation too. There are two things at play in that moment. One, I had to know what God had done in the past. I had to remember what God has done in the past so that I could help my son trust God for what was to come with his life. And two, my son had to remember what God had done. He had to be aware in some form or fashion what God has done so that he could trust him for what's to come. For both of us, this involves knowing the history of what God's done. I might have a more advanced awareness of God's story as just an older person and his father, and partly because of my vocation. But he has an awareness of God's story by Bible stories that we read to him all throughout the week. Through Bible story shows that we have him watch regularly. Through mentioning those stories in everyday conversation with him. And through hearing Bible stories at Impact on Sunday mornings like he's doing right now. This isn't some grand program you have to implement into your life. It's just being intentional about bringing those things to the forefront to the people in your life. These are simple acts of faithfulness we can take to help our kids, friends, relatives, brothers and sisters in Christ to remember what God's done, to trust him for what's to come.